Hello, this is Dr. Young, and I'm going to go over your week 3 assignment. I'm sorry, assignments. As soon as I can get logged in here. Okay. Sorry about that delay. I got a super slow computer today. By the way, July 4th, you don't have to be in class. I hope you have a good holiday. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're talking a lot about group and team behavior today. This week. Sorry. For the discussion, you're going to talk about kind of how technologies deal with communication, especially in the age of technology, blogs, social media. We're kind of talking about some of the practices, like as far as your role playing, some of these scenarios where you're reading about Elon Musk and Starbucks and Gannett, and how it's so difficult to stay ahead of issues, situations that arise with organizations. You have to really be on top of it, and that is especially true with social media and electronic communication. So what you need to do is kind of think through that and talk about, as far as, do you think Elon Musk was right to blog before the announcement? And do employees, should they be held accountable for what they blog about their company? Could that should that be a factor in their employment? And a lot, and this goes with Facebook too. If you're an employee and you blog, you post on Facebook about your employer in a negative way, you're seeing these things cause employees to get fired. Is that ethical? Is that correct? Do you feel like that's the right thing to do? And that's not the questions I'm asking here. Obviously, you want to stick to these, but I'm just having you think through some of the issues that we're facing, because this is what the assignment is about. When you read about these things, and you know how words get twisted very quickly as far as an event, especially when you have an ethical, questionable ethics of an organization and a practice, and then you see the information come out piecemeal, and sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not. You can't. It's very hard to differentiate between the factual and the more rumor type information, or just someone said this, hearsay kind of thing. So it's very hard to find out what's true and what's not. And when companies kind of wait and wait and wait to release a statement or deal with a situation, I think that's when it can get out of control with the inaccuracy that you see. But anyway, kind of consider all this and mull through it and think through these scenarios, and tell me what you think as far as Tesla, and then in general, what do you feel like, should an employee be able to blog about a company without ramifications? Should their identities be revealed? And what kind of policy would you have for communication of issues inside and outside your company? And feel free to address Facebook or social media, other means aside from a blog, in your posts. Moving on to assignment 2. This one's about multicultural, multinational teams, IBM. And IBM is very, obviously throughout the world. It has a presence. So you are reading some background about them, and then you are going to play a role and assume that you are employed by a consulting company. And you have to write a paper where you discuss the following questions. And it's basically, the purpose of the paper is to inform clients about your company's philosophy on teamwork and give them a sense how your company will prepare their teams. Excuse me. So you have to think about, it's a global company. So you're going to probably have a lot of virtual collaboration. And, you have to kind of think about that from a cultural standpoint. And so I want you to use what you've learned and just kind of develop these answers for these questions in a paper. Obviously, don't use bullets and don't repeat the questions. Just kind of talk about it. Write it in a APA style, an essay format. So you have to really, you can read the questions yourself, but and you're going to kind of, you're going to apply the stages of group development. But really what you need to talk about is I really want to see these questions answered, but I also want you to address some of the major challenges and ways to overcome those challenges is kind of the meat of this paper, as far as, what are the obstacles you're going to encounter. And I'm looking for kind of very specific types of obstacles. Try to be very to the point when you're talking about really what can happen. You were given kind of an idea of where some of these, where IBM is located around the world. So think through the cultural things, how that could cause conflicts and problems, and how can that be mitigated. That's really all for this week. So far the work's been, in this class, you all have done a very good job with your formatting and your papers overall, for the most part. I know that's only 2 weeks that I've graded so far, and I think the second week discussions did improve over the first week. So we're seeing some progression here. So just keep working at it and keep practicing your format and everything. And as far as your content, just when it comes to content, a lot of times it's if you don't get a high grade in that area, it's because you might be a bit too vague or you're veering off topic. So just try to make sure to stay focused on the questions and the topic, and not to go too far off of that. That's what I see sometimes, but honestly, most of the time the content is meeting the requirements. The only time, unless you might not be elaborating enough. Now I know that this paper has, let me just go back down here. We don't have page counts. We don't, that's not something that's usually given. And I don't either, because it's really about content. Some people can say this a lot in fewer sentences than others. It's kind of a talent to be able to do that. So I do obviously account for that. But I'm just looking for specific points on, these questions. I just want you to make sure that you're specifically addressing them. And this kind of requires you to go and research some information on IBM to really get a well-rounded paper. So I would definitely do that. I think the more research that you do, usually the paper is better. And that makes complete sense because you have more information to draw from. Just make sure that you're using it, paraphrasing the information that you use in your own words. So that's really all there is. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns, and I'll be happy to assist you. I will be out of town Saturday through Monday, but I will be checking my email Saturday morning and probably sometime on Sunday. But I would recommend, if you're going to contact me on Sunday, just to be safe, to text me. That way I can make sure that it'll probably be, in case their internet's not working very well. I know that pretty sure my phone will work there. So anyway, just any questions or concerns, let me know, and have a great weekend.